I think that Johnny Williams is a very versatile writer. Screenwriter, novelist, poet, for which he received the American Book Award. Just an all-around journalist, all-around writer. Does everything.
Assess the mess. Indeed, indeed. Famine, bullish corporate greed. Elections stolen like a bird steals seed. Space shot stations circling high. Trillions for each and every tribe. Down here, we simply daily die.
John A. Williams was born in Jackson, Mississippi on December 5, 1925. The first of 4 children, Williams moved with his parents to Syracuse, New York when he was just 6 months old. A sports fan, Williams played on his high school basketball team before leaving in 1943 to enlist in the United States Navy and serve in World War II. After Williams returned home, he would finish high school and graduate from Syracuse University in 1950, where he earned a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Journalism.
Williams also taught at a number of colleges and universities, including Boston University, the University of Hawaii, LaGuardia Community College, City University of New York, UC Santa Barbara, and Rutgers University, where he held the position of Paul Robeson Professor of English until his retirement in 1994.
As a journalist, Williams published extensively in the mainstream and alternative presses, including Ebony, Jet, Newsweek, the Pittsburgh Courier, and Holiday. Between 1960 and 1999, Williams published 12 full-length novels. (1967's The Man Who Cried I Am and 1982's Click song were 2 of Williams' best known and most critically appreciated works.
I think probably his most important book, in my opinion, is The Man Who Cried I Am. And it's all about the government persecution of black writers when, those days when black writers were really dangerous and not this post-race stuff that they're handed down that's getting all the prizes and everything. It's about the persecution of Langston Hughes, Richard Wright, and some others, and some historical figures are in the book, like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, who's called, I believe, Minister Q. Also, I think another important book is Click Song, which is about New York literary politics. 2 of his books about New York literary politics, the angry ones, his first novel, and Click Song, which is about how writers are going to be judged by BookScan,
Many of Williams's novels deal with the difficulties of navigating racist social systems as an African American. His work is particularly influenced by his time in the U.S. military, as a Navy seaman during World War II. His novels share histories that have been erased or covered over, like those of the abuse faced by African American servicemen and women. He told the University of Rochester that the closest I came to being killed during the war, when arms were raised specifically against me, was when Americans, sailors, placed a .45 to my head and almost pulled the trigger. No Japanese bomber pilot rifleman or machine gunner ever did that. In novels like Captain Blackman, Williams explores the history of black combat veterans, writing their heroism back into historical record while never romanticizing the brutality and dehumanization of war.
He went on to write very controversial books like Captain Blackman. Black men participated in World War II, There were racists in the Pentagon who referred to them as cowards and weak and all that. Actually, it was Tuskegee Air Force which first reached the Rhine and escorted B-52s. As a matter of fact, the white pilots of the B-52s first were suspicious of their being their escorts. Then they welcomed them. They said, we. And the last interview I had with him was in connection with my new book, The Complete Muhammad Ali, and in which I, interviewed people like Harry Belafonte, who was served in World War II, and Johnny Williams. And Johnny Williams told me, I don't think this is public, that Elijah Muhammad was right to obtain conscientious objection status in World War II, which is called the Great War.
Williams has been called arguably the finest Afro-American novelist of his generation, and his 2 American Book Awards, membership in the National Institute of Arts and Letters, 1977 National Endowment for the Arts Grant, and Phyllis Wheatley Award for invaluable contributions to African American letters and culture all speak to his talents as a writer. However, his determination to speak truth to power has sometimes kept him from the critical and popular recognition his work merits.
Johnny Williams, being a journalist and having been a member of the Navy, lends a perspective that we don't get in this sort of like fever for the greatest generation. He and John O'Killens showed that while the greatest generation was fighting fascism abroad, they were practicing it at home, practicing racism at home. And the irony is, for example, that German prisoners in the South were treated better than black soldiers, who were often lynched. So I think that Johnny Williams is somebody who upsets the apple cart, has the courage, like his friend John Killens, to go there.
In a 1995 interview with his son Dennis for the journal Fork Roads, Williams proclaimed that writing was, for him, a question of doing something that I thought I might possibly be able to do in order to maintain sanity. In a world which really, given certain situations, doesn't give a shit whether you exist or not, he said, it is very important that you create yourself. And you do that, or at least I think I did, by writing. Today, we celebrate the literary legacy of John A. Williams.
Some reading sections from Clifford's Blues. The first one is Sunday, May 28th, 1933. My name is Clifford Pepperidge, and I am in trouble. I'm an American Negro, and I play piano sometimes, and I'm a vocalist too. I shouldn't be here, but they didn't pay any attention to me when they brought me. Didn't listen when I was in Berlin either. I am in protective custody, they call it. They said I'll be out as soon as they finish their investigation. I hope so. God, I hate this place. As soon as I do get out, I'm hauling ass back home. I don't care what it's like. They never did this to me in New York. And until I left Storyville after they closed it down, I managed not to have anything to do with the John Laws. That's what back home was all about. Mm-hmm.